Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the Things podcast. It's Monday Night Football. I am with the legendary Orlando Pirates supporter Tibos. He's just going to give us his match. It's the review. What would have Orlando Pirates done better to win against Mamelodi Sundowns? I can see you still look distraughted. You still look traumatized. I called you after the game on Saturday and you couldn't answer or get back to me. You only got back to me earlier this morning, and I knew that I needed to give you a break because you were recovering. You were hurt. You were traumatized. Mamelodi Sundowns whipped Orlando Pirates by 4-1 to the much disbelief of many Orlando Pirates faithful, because there was so much expectations. Just give us your thoughts. Just give us your match review. What could have Orlando Pirates done better? What went wrong on that specific particular game, according to you?
According to me, Baba, as I have realized, or as I have seen the starting lineup, that's why I didn't come and watch the game, because I have also realized, or no, we have already lost the game before even we can just kick the ball. Because I seen our lineup, it was just a mess. It was just a mess. I know Sundowns gonna be a walkover on us. It will be just a walkover. Truly speaking, I didn't come because I know I don't want to be embarrassed. That's why I didn't come.
That's why you didn't come and watch the game.
That's why I didn't come and watch the game, because I knew Sundowns gonna win the game. You understand? By me looking at our starting lineup and looking at Sundowns starting lineup, I can see Sundowns they mean business. They are here for 3 points. But us, our starting lineup was so disappointing. Our starting 11 was so disappointing, man. I don't want to lie. And I blame the coach.
Elaborate starting disappointment, the starting lineup.
Our starting lineup, Baba. Let me start by our fullbacks. You cannot play Woto as a left wing in that kind of a game, because you are confusing the player. When the player started to gel his position,
To
get used to that position, you take him, you put him again up front. Then next game you take him up, you put him back to the left back. What is that as a coach? If you change the player, let the player play that position that you want him to play. Don't if the player then used to play at the left back, then you took him, you play him at the left wing. What is that? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. We are confusing the player. Do you understand? So that's where our starting lineup fumbled. He should have started with Woto as a left back, normal as you used to play, and then put Dean van Rooyen at the right back. You understand? And put our wings, Relebogile Mofokeng and Mohaung Kota, and put Rasebojwa in the middle of the pack to pair with Makashel Makaula to be one of those defensive midfielders. So you put people who are not good in marking. Player like Kabelo Dlamini. What's Kabelo Dlamini going to do in such a magnitude of a game? Kabelo Dlamini, first of all, is not a good marker. It's not a marker. It's good when having a ball on him. But when he doesn't have a ball, you don't know where to go. He's lost. He was lost in that game. As you can see, that second goal, it was a mistake that was made by Masongani and Kabelo Dlamini. Masongani slipped, lose the ball, but he managed to push the ball to Kabelo Dlamini. Kabelo Dlamini was trying to pass his teammate. He just passed the ball, and then the ball bounced back to a Sundowns player. That's when they catch us on the counter attack. You understand what I mean? So it shows that Kabelo Dlamini is not a good player that we can just put him in such a magnitude of that game.
Your
Because
centre backs-
Sundowns players that they put on the starting lineup, it shows that they mean business. It shows that Sundowns they mean business. They will be attacking Pirates. So what do you expect or Kabelo Dlamini to do? We cannot expect Kabelo Dlamini to match with Tebo Mukwena, Jaden Adams, Lucas Ribeiro,
and
huh?
Allende, the middle.
and Allende on the midfield. It's not a good marker. It's good when he's having the ball. But off the ball, Kabelo Dlamini is nowhere to be seen.
Your centre backs were you happy
What-
with
what-
them because
No.
you keep them?
My centre back. I'm talking about our centre back, but I'm talking about that centre back.
No, you never mentioned your centre back. You skip them. Were you pleased with a CBC and?
No, that's what I said. Our centre back didn't play well from the previous game that they play against Sukukuni United. As we have seen, Sukukuni United were just starting to attack us. It shows that our centre back was just leaking. You understand? So before that game of that kind of magnitude, the coach should have sit down with our centre back and try to advise them, try to show them or no, as a centre back, where you need to close your opponent, where you need to play an offside drive, because as you can see in that ball of Ribeiro,
So
that is score from far post. He was just left alone. He managed to from the back, land in the foot of Ribeiro, then land in the back of the net. It shows they were trying to play.
So there was no. So there's nothing much that Jose Reviero could have done because even you yourself you would have felt that the same pairing. There was no player that you would have.
No, they should have given them
A lecture.
a lecture. You should have lectured them on how to play against Sundowns.
Maybe
How to deal with a player like Abu Lucas Ribeiro. Because Lucas Ribeiro was just controlling. He was just alone. All the time, Lucas Ribeiro was just alone. That's why he was able to dominate that Pirates defenders. Because there was no one who was closing him. No one was assigned to mark Lucas Ribeiro. Those two, our centre back, they were just caught napping at the back. They were just going around like a headless chicken. Yeah? So they were not marking anyone. Sometimes were just controlling. They were dominant. They dominant Paris defense. They dominant Paris midfield. It shows we are lacking at the back. We are lacking on the midfield. Sundowns won the game on the midfield. Because that's where Sundowns, our players like Abu Tebogo Mukwena, Abu Allende, they were able to be on the ball too much. Because there was no one who was just trying to destabilize them.
So you say Hoto would have
Because
played-
Makeshen Makaula was alone in the midfield. It was only the defensive midfield that we have. And he cannot do all the dirty work. Because he's supposed to be assisted by Kabelo Dlamini, but Kabelo Dlamini was nowhere to be found. Even Masongani, he lost the ball. In that kind of a condition of the pitch, we don't hold the ball, we don't run with the ball, because you will sleep. And once you sleep, you make a mistake. Then they caught you with the counter attack. You understand? You release the ball, you let the ball roll. You don't run with the ball in that kind of a condition of the pitch, because you will sleep. Once you sleep, you make a mistake, then they dispossess you. They're going to dispossess you easily because you fall down as Mufeking did in front of our 18 area. He slipped with the ball because he was trying to run with the ball. You let the ball run in that kind of a pitch. You don't run with the ball. You let the ball run. That's what Sundowns was doing. They were letting the ball run. They were not running with the ball. They didn't hold the ball too much on them. You understand what I mean? So Orlando Pirates coach has fumbled. You cannot expect a player like Kabelo Dlamini
So
to
is-
deal with.
Is it only Kabelo Dlamini that you
Even
are
up front,
emphasizing
Baba,
on?
up front, our line up front. Let me
You
emphasize on the up front
Yes.
because I've already explained you from the back on the midfield. Let me go to up front.
Yeah, because you say Hoto would have played the left back.
Left back,
Who were you going to play in that left wing position?
left wing position. I should have played Mohau. and then Relebogile, right wing. So he didn't do that. And he normally always do that. In the previous game that we have won, he normally did that. So today I don't know what get into his mind, Reviero. He fumbled our line up totally. Because really, if you can see, Otto normally is good when Otto is coming from the left back. Run with the ball forward or get into the space as he normally do. But Otto was just striking alone. The player that was just better on that day, it was Otto and Makhehleni. Unfortunately, Makhehleni Makola get injured. He was replaced, and then it was worse. Sundowns were all over us. We're controlling the ball from the back to the up front. So on the midfield it was just a passes. But we let a player like Kabelo Dlamini for the whole 80 minutes to replace him after 80 minutes. Then we bring some ball. What we're gonna do with 10 minutes left? Left the whole passive player on the field of play for the whole 80 minutes. As a coach, as we said, you are a technical coach, a tactical coach, a technician coach,
a technocrat.
You left a player who was a passive for the whole.
Who was
passive 80 minutes. Then after 80 minutes, that's when you replace him. Kabelo Dlamini.
And you're not happy about Mahopa?
I don't happy about Mahopa. I was not happy about Kabelo Dlamini. Kabelo Dlamini is not a good marker. You know, Masongane is not a good. As you can see, those mistakes from Masongane and Kabelo Dlamini. Those 2 goals that Sundowns scored, it was a mistake that was made by slipping the pull of jersey of Masongane, then cause a direct kick. Then they took it, then landed on the foot of Kekana. And Kekana was unmarked. He just kicked the ball on top of the China.
And it was Masongane that held.
It was Masongane that held. I don't know that player's name. It was Masongane that held Sundowns player.
2 mistakes.
It's 2 mistakes. The one that Sundowns caught us with counter attack.
Yes, temper.
He just slipped and then he was just trying to stretch his foot to pass the ball to Kabelo Dlamini. Kabelo Dlamini, unfortunately, he just plus his own teammate. Then the ball bounced back to Sundowns. They caught us with counter attack. Then resulted into goal.
Advise Masongane to control his temper. He's got potential, but this thing of his of street.
No, Masongane, let me give him advice.
He's listening there.
Masongane, listen to me as a legend supporter of Orlando Pirates. I've been supporting Orlando Pirates since 1983. So you can see it's just a decade. So you must listen to me.
More than a decade.
Listen to me, Masongane, whatever you are. If you can just play the ball that you play when you play for national team, you'll be the best of Masongane. But if coming to Pirates, you like to do a showboat, you like to run with the ball, and then you are easily dispossessed, and you are not strong on the feet. But you like to hold the ball too much on you, and you are not strong on the feet. You get easily dispossessed. You get easily fell down. So you are not strong on the feet. If you are not strong on the feet, play the ball that you play when you are playing for national team. Release the ball, get into the space, goal. Don't hold the ball, don't turn the ball with the ball backwards. As we play when you play for Orlando Pirates. But when you play for Bafana Bafana, you play a good football where you know that you need to release the ball in time and get into the space and get the ball and release it to the player who is unmarked. But you want to hold the ball too much. You don't release the ball on time. That's where Sundowns punish us. The mistake that we made, it cost us 2 goals. Because of we want to run with the ball. You want to hold the ball on you. You don't release the ball in time. That's where Sundowns caught us, because they know you want to do short boat.
Another question.
And they didn't give you that time to settle on the ball. Because immediately Sundowns, they dispossess you. They are on us. Immediately when we get the ball, they dispossess us. We lose the ball easily in the midfield. It shows or no, talent matter was not there. The gap of talent matter was just exposed. It was just exposed on the midfield. Sundowns it was just a passage, a freeway. They were just running on top of our midfielders because there was no defensive midfield. That was able to stop Abo Alende, Abo Mukwena, Abo Jane Adams. They were doing whatever they liked with Pirates midfielders.
So I want to ask you a quick question. The league title, do you still have hope? It's 9 points.
No, Baba.
With the Pirates, there's a game in hand. If Pirates can win, it's 6 points. And
listen to me. I know people.
Do you still have hope?
I know. I don't know. I have lost hope because with this kind of a crop of players that we play against Sundowns, we won't win the league. We are not going anywhere. Even the Nedbank Cup, we're gonna lose it. The KEFA Champions League.
No, but you won Nedbank Cup with the same players.
What same players? No, with the same players, but not the way they were playing the position.
Yeah, but if they can change,
Huh?
it can change. If they can change and stick to the way they won it. You Pirates won Nedbank Cup with the same players, with the same coach.
Baba.
They beat Sundowns. So Pirates can still defend the Nedbank Cup.
Sundowns have exposed Orlando Pirates. Sundowns have exposed Orlando Pirates. Or now Pirates players, what kind of player Pirates they've got. We are lacking, Baba, in terms of quality. We are lacking. Even those players who are sitting on the bench.
One match.
If I say, one match can just make you to learn.
So you don't believe, as Pirates faithfuls, you don't believe?
Because if you play against Abo Makezi, Abo Sukukunu, you cannot realize your mistake. Because that team are not tough. They don't have quality players. But if you play against one of the best teams
in
Africa, in South Africa, you will see. That's where you're going to be exposed. That's all. No, Pirates is still lacking in terms of quality. Pirates strikers, they have never scored goals from the previous game that Pirates played. They have never scored goals. Makhopa on that game, he never kicked, he never shoot. There was no what you call it, a target. Shot at the target or shot at the goal from Makhopa. But he's a striker. Huh? There was no shot at target for Makhopa, no shot at goal for Makhopa. He was just going around like a headless chicken. Huh? He was not in the 18 area where he's supposed to be. He should have started the game with Mabasa. Maybe it was something would be better, and let the Hoto play his original position as a left back. And bench Marco. Marco is not supposed to start that game. Marco is not the player that he can just. Those players, when you substitute, when they get into the game, make sure that you are in the comfortable lead. Not to start the game such a magnitude with those kind of players. There are players that we can just make them when we know that no, I'm in a comfortable lead. Then let me put some average players.
No, but Makhopa is a quality player.
Baba, there's no quality.
We saw him in AFCON. What did he did for the
Baba, don't talk about.
I think you Pirates supporters are just becoming. You are just impatient.
No, we have been long. We have to.
Makhopa is strong.
It's a striker.
He's able to hold the ball, can feed the players going around him.
But he can't shoot.
He gives a lot of the opponents a terror time. Sometimes you need a strong big defender, and a lot of defenders they struggle. Another one. Do you still have hope? CAF Champions League, how far do you think Orlando Pirates will go? Nedbank Cup out there?
Pirates will never go even to the semi-final of CAF Champions League.
No, but it's two different competitions, guys.
No, Baba.
Pirates have been coming.
Baba, listen to me.
Well, not
listen
one
to
game
me.
cannot.
I told you the league is gone.
But what do you no? But with such
a game,
having watched football.
Jose Reviero gave Sundowns a league.
No, it's fine. But I'm asking you about CAF now. Having, a loss can help a team in many instances. That's why probably I said, you see, that's why Sundowns started like this, because that's why Sundowns is peaking at the right time. You remember at the beginning of the season, there were so many stories, Mangoba, they were changing, Rulani, this and that. So this loss probably might be a blessing to Orlando Pirates, where they will see their mistakes and double their efforts in CAF. Do you want to tell me that you are giving up in CAF whilst you are beating these North Africans?
Baba, when I beat those African teams, I've got a solid defense in Sisani. So you cannot say,
He's back. He will be back.
no, I don't think he will be back right now at the moment.
He's injured.
By the time he's back, he will be out of the CAF Champions League.
Nda probably.
Nda, I don't know what is going on with Nda.
He was injured.
Saleng, we miss Saleng. You can see that we miss Saleng, a player who can take opponents on.
Bring him back to the field.
You understand? We're lacking up front. We're lacking in the wings.
Bring him back.
We don't know what is going on with Saleng. Nobody knows. No one must come out and explain to us as a supporters now what is going on with Saleng. Why Saleng didn't play?
So,
Why we don't play with Saleng? What's wrong? We want answers, but we don't get it
no, it's a
from our technical team or from our management.
It's a
We don't.
contractual dispute.
No, we need to
But-
know as a supporters because our team now is suffering.
No, it's contractual dispute. I've got it Intel. So, you say no hope for CAF Champions League. You say you are crashing out of the quarterfinal. Nedbank Cup. How far do you think you can go?
Nedbank, I think maybe we'll win this game of Baroka. You know, we are playing one of the lowest team in the Motsepe League, so we'll pass.